Apparently I'm live. Apparently I'm live. I thought I was already live. I guess that's alive. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our little yoga intermissions. I am live on Saturday morning, I don't know what the date is, 17th, 18th, something like that. Anyway, today's focus is on grounding. Not like being grounded like, you ground your kids. But if you take a moment to consider the concept that in order to rise, it's requisite to root down. And that is true of a lot of things: trees, green plants, flowers, people. And you don't even have to always be standing to root to rise. So the first chakra, where the syllable or sound that goes with it is lam. The color that goes along with it is red. This first chakra is all about grounding. It's about rooting into the earth. And this energy center is very low in the torso, sort of at your sacrum, maybe a little bit lower, and well below the belly button. When you feel rooted, when you feel grounded, you are stabler, you are sturdier. You can work on balance better or differently. And it feeds all the other chakras up until consciousness, which is right at the crown of the head. So whether you believe in that or not, the fact of the matter is, physically, you need to have a solid, stable foundation in order to effectively move, safely move, painlessly move, or maybe with less pain. So we're going to focus on that today. We'll start seated. I don't know if everyone saw, but if you have some sort of a meditation pillow, or you could roll up a towel, or maybe you have a bolster or a block, to go ahead and sit on that and scoot your sitting bones forward. If folding your legs is not comfortable for you, you can always bring bent knees. That might help with keeping the spine straight. You can always bring the soles of the feet together. You can always prop yourself from the knees, because you want your knees either lower than your hips or supported. Chair is a good place, especially if you have any physical issues today. A chair and coming all the way back in the chair with your feet on the floor or on something. So we're going to find our nice long spine. So what do you do to find your nice long spine? Well, first, you kind of work around on your buttocks, getting your sitting bones connected to the earth. There's your start of grounding. You think about all the parts that are attached to something, connected to something on the ground, whether it's your mat, blocks, a bolster, a pillow, a cushion. All of those things are from where you can ground. So if you begin to close the eyes, or maybe actually close the eyes, don't begin, because then they'd be hovering. Close your eyes. Let the breath come smoothly in and out the nose, and see where you can first relax into any of those spots that are connected to something that's connected to the earth. I'm not finding that too comfortable, so I'm going to adjust. Feel free to do the same. Hands can rest in your lap or maybe on your legs. Your shoulders start to fall away from your ears because you're rooting into Mother Earth. You're enjoying the nurture, the nutrition, the energy that comes from the earth, the gravity that helps us stay on the earth. And now if you just imagine something like a plant growing taller, or a flower rising from a seed or a bulb. There's this attention, this desire, this aspiration, this drawing down, if you will, from the upwardness, almost like, those little the boxes with toys in them, and the hand, the metal hand that comes and grabs the toy and lifts it up. But you want to keep everything else grounded. So that's kind of the feeling that you're looking for. A little hug in at the lower belly. The spine gets a little bit longer and the shoulders relax, and they might relax enough so that the hands drop down. Grounding. Where the leaves fall, they're drawn to the ground. The scent of cinnamon or ginger or nutmeg or allspice, very grounding. The roots of any growing thing that must draw downward and or across and downward, sometimes hooking in with one another in order to rise up. And we might make ourselves even taller. First, we'll drop the hands by the sides and take a little wiggle of the shoulders. You can shimmy it if you want. Your knees might move like butterfly wings. Maybe your head does a little, I don't know why it makes me think of a clown circle, but like a clock face movement. And then we let the arms float upward. Pause here. Lower the shoulders from the ears and reach the fingers way, way out. Flip the palms up. And now, without squishing the shoulders to the ears, go ahead and lift the arms. Maybe they stay in a V. Maybe the palms touch. Really connect all those places again. And now, my torso got a little longer. My belly drew in a little bit more. And maybe it feels good to find a slight back bend by gazing upward and drawing your shoulder blades together a little bit. We're going to take that the opposite way. Release the palms so the arms come straight out, palms face down. And then the hands come all the way down. Arms rise back up. We're going to take some lubrication into the shoulders. So little circles forward. They don't have to be fast. They can be super duper slow. And then little circles backward. Medium-sized circles forward. Check in with the thighs. Check in with the calves. Check in with the belly. So you don't really want the thighs and the calves activated, but you do want the belly slightly hugging in. Medium circles other way. Large circles forward. Woo! I feel like a car wash with all those, I don't know if they still use rags. I don't go to car washes. We wash them at home. But those rags that kind of slap along, and then the other way. And now you should be starting to warm up. If you were not warmed up, arms reach back up ahead. And we'll take a little twist. Left hand forward, right arm behind us. Thumbs point up. Your gaze moves toward your back thumb, maybe even past it. You don't want to crank the neck too much, so be kind. And if you'd like to take this into a twisty back bend, drop your right hand behind you, lift your left hand, but stay twisted. Don't twist too far. Drop the back shoulder away from the ear and draw that belly in and up. So you're still tall. You're still connected to the earth, rooting to rise with a little back bend. We come back to our east-west pose. We come forward with the arms outward, and then we switch. You might notice a little difference on this side. I feel a little less connected on my right sitting bone, so I'm going to adjust. Now I'm more grounded. Thumbs up. Gaze is toward your back thumb if it can reach there. And if you did on the other side, and if it's okay for your shoulders, a lift of the front arm, a drop of the back hand. And we rise back up to our east-west pose. Come forward. Let's lift the arms once again. Draw the palms together and bring the hands to the heart. Close your eyes. What does it feel like to be grounded, to be situated in such a way that your spine is long and straight, your shoulders are loosened from your ears, but you feel safe in your stance or your seat or your kneel? Then consider maybe a place or a scent or a sound or a taste that makes you feel grounded. This is so important as we move into, I think we've passed the fall equinox, but as we move into the colder, dark, shorter days, darker days, different weather days, where we begin to hunch in on ourselves to maintain or contain our heat. We often forget to use the ground to stabilize ourselves in a way that utilizes muscles that help to keep us warm. Consider here an intention or motivation for your practice today. All right, drop the hands to the ground. We're going to work the shoulders a little bit more. Right shoulder lifts up, moves forward and down, moves back and up. So we're just rotating there. Take your time. If you can match the breath to it, when you lift up, it's an inhale. When you drop down, it's an exhale. And then we're going to take the other direction. Forward, up, and back, and down. Forward, up, back, down. And one more. When that feels complete, we'll take it to the other side. We'll move up, back, down. Forward, up, back, down. One or two more, your choice. Then we move in the other direction. And then we'll do the really fun one. Remember when you were a kid and you were trying to rub your belly and pat your head? We're going to do that. We're going to bring one shoulder forward and the other one back. Is that right? Yeah. So it's like riding a bicycle. I just did this last night and I still can't remember it. Like riding a bicycle. And I'm going to switch the other way. So forward with the right and back with the left. Kind of weird. All right, now we've done our initial round of ground. Round. Now find your way into your tabletop. Actually, let's go into a child's pose. Give yourself the opportunity to relax. Noting that this is also an excellent way to ground yourself, to feel connected to the earth, to allow yourself to either feel less vulnerable or encourage yourself to be more vulnerable, whereby the earth is protecting you. So big toes touch, nice wide knees. You can always add something under your knees or behind your knees, and you want your head resting on something. So if it resists coming to the ground, you might one potato, two potato, put your forehead on it. That helps the neck relax. Or stack your hands, let the elbows come outward. Or maybe you can make it to the ground with the forehead and the arms out in front. Sitting bones resting back and down. So it's not just a downward motion, it's a back and down motion. So in this way, you're grounding through the arms and the hands, the pads of the fingers, the palms of the hands, the heel of the hands, the arms maybe, the shins, the tops of the feet. And even the sitting bones, which are moving backward and toward the heels, those are sort of aimed in a grounding kind of posture. It's an opportunity to find breath. So whatever breath works for you, maybe in and out through the nose, make it deep, make it full. Release everything into the ground that you don't need. Broadening the upper back and the belly. expanding the rib cage. Now we'll notice how we ground from tabletop. And again, if you need to fold over your mat or get something under your knees, feel free. In tabletop, we're often not working with the ground or working with the earth's energy or working with our lower belly energy. Our lower belly energy is intended to kind of hug in and up, not massively, not significantly, but if you've ever, and I think most of us have, taken a pair of jeans out of the dryer and they've shrunk a little bit, and you go to zip them up, you kind of draw the belly in to make that happen. I don't know if you're looking, but if you can see that in my spine or feel it in your own, it's like I'm zipping up the wetsuit or the jeans, and the belly hugs in, lengthening and straightening the spine. That's what we're looking for. Fingers are wide, tops of the feet on the ground. Let's go ahead and tap the tops of the feet onto the ground. Take your time. If you like a cat and a cow, I would go more for the cow and make the cat a little shallow. A shallow cat. That doesn't have a lot of depth to it, because I want to be careful about any of us who might have osteopenia or osteoporosis or arthritis. I don't want to cause additional pain or perhaps in fractures that we are unaware of that will eventually cause us instability in the spine. It's also better, frankly, for people who have high blood pressure or heart disease, not to put the head below the chest. So feel free to drop the belly, inhale, lift the head, lift the tail as far as you can without pain. And then maybe very gently tuck the tail, find a little rounding. Now we're going to straighten it all out. Again, drawing the navel in. Right leg behind us, but the ball of the foot is on the ground. Left arm in front of us with the fingertips on the ground. So we're kind of like, I don't really know, getting ready to spring forth, but it's not spring. So very slowly, we're going to lift the arm and the leg, squaring up the hips, reach the heel behind you, draw that belly in and press the finger pads, the heel of the hand of that right hand into the ground, and the shoelace side of the left foot. Let's go ahead and draw the knee and the elbow together, nice and slowly. Extend back out. Reach the heel. Tap the fingers and the toes down. Lift them again, leg as straight as you can. Squeeze the glutes and bring the fingers and toes down. One more time to complete this piece. We lift. We bring the toes and fingers down, and then we return to our tabletop. Maybe some hip circles feel good here. Again, if you choose some other shape or movement, feel free. Just don't overdo rounding of the spine. We'll take that to the other side when that feels complete for you. Gathering a nice hug from the low belly. Left foot behind, toes on the ground, right arm in front. Extend so the arm is straight and fingers are on the ground. If any of your joints are locked, soften them. Slowly, simultaneously, we lift the arm and the leg. Squaring up the hips, we're going to draw the knee and the elbow together. Nice balance work. If you're grounded, that helps the balance. Reaching back out. What did we say about grounding? The hand and the foot, left and right, are connected to the earth. Fingers and toes are down. We lift again. Pause. Fingers and toes down. And one more time, lift. Fingers and toes down. And back into your tabletop. And again, maybe you take hip circles. Maybe you do the cat and cow. We'll add in a little shift of the hips back, drawing the backs of the hands onto the earth. The fingers point toward the knees. That might be as far as you can go. We don't want pain, so if you've gone sort of to the edge or over the edge, back out of it a little bit. Ground the tops of your feet into the earth. If it helps to bring your hips backward more, please do, but maybe find a little rocking. We are currently opening up the fingers, the thumbs, the backs of the hands, and the backs of the wrists. And now we're going to do the inner wrists. So we'll plant the hands, the palms down. Maybe the fingers point a bit left and right, or maybe even more toward your knees. Just being careful not to overdo it. Working the inner wrists and the fingers and the thumbs into the ground with a little rock. Very good. All right, we're going to place the hands back on the ground. We're going to take the left calf and sort of gate it a little bit out to the left. It doesn't have to come very far. We're going to lengthen the right leg behind us. So the ball of the foot is on the ground. Maybe move your left hand out to the left a little bit. And then go ahead and shift the back foot all the way onto the mat so it's parallel to the back of the mat. And lift your right arm. If your shoulder doesn't work that way, you can always bring your hand to your hip or your low back. You could even decide to take the arm forward or maybe take a half bind. So this is a gate latch side plank. If you like and if you want to try it out or if it's part of your practice, maybe you scoot that left hand a little forward and you float the right leg, this time reaching the heel behind you. You can always challenge yourself by drawing that knee in toward your chest. That's working your left hip and thigh and glute, and then stretch that leg back out. Everyone will meet back in tabletop, shifting that left shin. A little wiggle waggle. And we gate the right foot out to the right a little bit. Extend the left leg, ball of foot on the ground. Bring the heel parallel to the toes, so the back foot is parallel to the back of the mat, and float that heart wide, left arm up, hand on your hip or on your low back, energy into the outer edge of that back foot. We're still grounding we're still rooting to rise, grounding to lift. Maybe you're half bind. Maybe right hand scoots forward another inch. So float the right leg, the left leg. That'll be a one-arm handstand if you floated your right leg. Knee might draw into your chest. And on an exhale, extend again. And then we're going to come back down. We're going to float the left toes down, the left hand return to our tabletop. And another child's pose. Your choice, Balasana 1 or 2. I find in Balasana 1, my head can't reach the floor, so I'm going to use a block. Alrighty, return to your tabletop. Hands below your shoulders, step your left foot outside your left hand. Use your hand if you need to. We're not coming into Malasana, so we're not coming into prayer squat, but we are coming into a sort of mid-height squat. Your right foot steps outside your right hand. So you can see my bottom is not up, but it's not all the way down. My shoulders are away from my ears. My belly is hugging in. My toes point forward. I'm going to glide the palms to the shins right below the knees. So go ahead and take that. Move the shoulders back. Find a long straight back. Maybe you straighten the legs a little bit. If this is too much for you, maybe the hands come to the thighs for more support. But shoulders back, tailbone and sitting bones back. Hinging is at your hips, and your head is not dropped. The nose is just pointing down. Soften your knees, rise all the way up. Beautiful. Arms will float wide and high. Palms together, exhale, hands to your heart. You're welcome to move your feet a little closer together. I'm going to back up so you can see all of me Why not see all of me? Right arm down. Left arm up. Find your feet. Find the right fingers helping you ground just with their energy, and find the left fingers using that rooting to rise, to lift the front of the body, not the booty, but the front of the body, the sides of the body, and the back. Feel the outer edges of your feet. Maybe you roll around on them. Finding a steadiness. There's a thing about even mountains move, but they are grounded. They are rooted into the earth. We're going to take a little tilt over to the right. Not going too far. You might like to place the palm of the right hand onto the right ribs to keep them wide as you tilt. So we're stretching the left side of the body, but we don't want to crunch the lungs on the right. Left arm up, right arm down. Both arms lift. Drop the shoulders. Left hand down, right arm up. Tall, grounded, and tilt. Left arm down, left arm up. We interlace the fingers. We're going to spread the feet, wide hips with distance, and soften the knees a little bit. And press the palms toward the sky. And then as if you're using the back just from below the scapula, the shoulder blades, and upward, you're going to take a little bit of a rounding. Do not drop your head, send your palms forward. We're going to come wider footed to point the toes out and move into goddess pose. This is a super grounding pose because you have the extra weight of the knees pointed outward and above your middle toes. Again, check in with the belly, a little hug like the royal cough. Ha, ha. If you want that kind of belly tightening happening. We're going to lift the left heel. We're going to drop it. We're going to lift the right heel. We're going to drop it. We're going to lift both heels. Stay balanced. If you fall out of it, don't worry. It's just yoga. We're going to sink the bottom down. Keep those quads working for you. Draw the belly in. Get tall in the torso. Lower the shoulders, fingers like you mean it. Bring the heels down. Make a fist of your fingers. Your thumbs are out. And 5-pointed star power mudra. Woohoo! We're going to bring the feet a little closer together. Draw the hands to the heart. Keeping your hands at your heart, you'll find a chair. Doesn't matter how low you go. Heels are grounded. Balls of the feet are grounded. Legs are powered up like they're spinning together, but they're not necessarily touching. We're going to lift the arms up and take the breath of joy. In this breath of joy, if you do have high blood pressure or have recently had an issue with stroke or heart disease or anything like that, you're not going to bend all the way over so that your head comes below your chest. But we are going to whoosh, lift all the way up, breathe in, and whoosh. One more. And hands draw back to your heart. We just played with a little balance, so we're going to add to that. We're lifting to the ball of the left foot and bringing it down. The ball of the right foot, bringing it down. Remember, you can't really balance if you're not grounded somehow. Come to the toes of the left foot, like your ballet toe shoes. Bring the heel down. Come to the toes of your right foot. And bring the heel down. Shift your weight very gently. Come to the toes of the left foot. And then perhaps with a single point of focus, that knee lifts up. Watch the shoulders, keep the belly in and up, and the sitting bones heavy and down. And very slowly, you can either step that foot back to a crescent warrior, or you can step the toes in front and glide the foot back, coming to your crescent warrior. Front knee bend, nice long stance. Arms can lift up or come into your cactus shape. Nice, powerful back leg. We're not sending the booty out. We're drawing it a little forward. We're going to interlace the fingers behind us, or just with the fingers, or maybe bring them hands to your low back. And if you feel unsteady, move the right foot out to the right to relieve some of that wobbliness. And we're going to humble this warrior. So now your head is even with your chest, your heart. You're going to be like that carving on the front of a ship. Just release your hands, but the shoulder blades are drawn together and the hands are behind you. Hands will plant, runner's lunge. Maybe you get a little bit longer. I always find I need to. I'm going to grab blocks. You can have a pillow or not. I'm just going to lengthen that front leg, peel the toes and everything but the heel off the mat. Reach the heart forward. Ball of the foot comes down and the back knee taps down. We release the toes to the top of the foot, being on the ground. One hand, both hands on your thigh can help you rise up, and check that your heel and knee are aligned. If they're not, you squiggle that front foot either forward or back. We're first opening the psoas here, but the intention of this pose is a back bend. So tailbone down, belly hugging in and up. Arms can draw down or up over your head. The shoulder blades squeeze together. If you're squishing the mat or trying to grab it with your toes, either stop doing that or use that to your advantage. So you lift the toes, widen them. This is just on the front foot. Grab the mat like you could bring it backward and pull your toes toward your foot. Do it again. It's like you're trying to grab a pencil. And again. And here, once the toes come back to the mat, we'll move into our half split. That front leg extends, toes peel up. And again, we don't want to bring the head ideally below the heart or below the hips. So we're reaching forward with the chest, backward with the sitting bones, keeping that flat back and finding a fold. I don't really need to go any deeper than this. I have a stretch in my hamstring. We squiggle that foot back onto the mat, rebend the knee, tuck the back toes under, lift up, and then gently step forward, halfway lift. All the way lift. Arms sweep high. Hands come behind your head. The middle fingers just touch. And the elbows come nice and wide. We're going to take a little twist. See if you can keep your hips squared right up. So it's not a very deep twist, but you want to keep the chest open and that little belly hug going on. We twist to the right. Inhale front and twist to the left. Inhale front, drop the hands, mountain pose, but we're going to go ahead and tilt the right ear toward the right shoulder. Maybe do those, I don't know what you call that, like cartoon girl, little baby girl hands with the palms like they're pressing toward the floor. Chin drop to the chest, chin lifts, and we drop the ear to the other side. We're getting more of a stretch by reaching the heels of the hands downward. And we're checking that the feet are completely working in our favor. And release the hands, chin rises. Hands to your heart. Maybe feet a little bit wider. We come to the toes of the right foot, and maybe we stay there, or maybe with a single point of focus, a drishti, that knee lifts, and we either step or glide that foot way to the back of the mat for our crescent warrior. Back opener. But we don't want to really send the booty behind us. We want to send it downward and forward. So that belly hug is really important. Hands drop behind us. We're going to humble this warrior like we did on the other side. Really powerful back foot. Hands will drop to blocks, pillows, or the mat. And we extend that front leg. We're not touching the back heel to the mat. We're floating the ball of the left foot off. Starting to build more stretch into the hamstring, the calf, and the glutes. Imagine that that heel is energetically dragging backward. We ground again through the front foot, and then we add the back knee. We add the top of the back foot, and then we use our hands for balance to come with the shoulders over the hips. I'm scooting my left leg forward and a little bit out to align my ankle and my heel. I'm checking with the back foot to ensure it's not sickling, moving sort of the toes in and the heels out. Back bend. Psoas opener, hip flexor opener. Maybe lift the front toes off the mat, widen them, and pretend you're scooping a pencil off the ground. Take that a couple of times. It's a nice balance challenge. If you like the arms overhead, now's a good time to take it. Shoulders away from the ears. Right glutes are really active. The heel of the left foot, very active. And then we move into our half split. Hands down to the ground onto your fingertips. You can use the block or pillows as you extend that front leg. Peel the sole of the foot off the mat and reach the heart forward. Straight backed fold. That sounds like a type of gorilla. The straight back fold gorilla lives in the Amazon. All right, nice work working through all of this. Even if you've adapted or taken something else, the fact that you are on your mat is the first step. We're going to lift the heart, scoot that leg back, curl the back toes under, step forward. Move into a chair pose, Utkatasana. If you like your arms overhead, cool. If you like them flying out like wings, cool. If you like them on your hips, cool. On your belly, cool. On your heart, cool. In front of your heart, all of it is cool. I'm keeping my arms forward so I can draw them, sort of not lock them, but connect them better to the shoulders. We're going to rise up. And bring the hands to the heart and take chair pose once more. This time we're going to lift the heels off the ground. It's that balance thing. Got to be grounded for this balance. Keep the heels lifted. See if the bottom can come closer to the heels. It doesn't have to come all the way down. Use the belly. And when this feels complete, we'll move into a forward fold. For those of us with high blood pressure, if it's not quite as well maintained by medication as it might be, maybe it's a long straight back. Move into your half lift. Your forward fold will step back to a high plank. And then if possible, lower in the straight line, all the way down to the mat. Head, heart, hips. I had my blocks, so I couldn't quite do that. Turn your head to one side. Hands come by your sides with the palms down. Let the neck get a little longer. Maybe find a little wiggle waggle of your bottom. It softens the hips a little in toward the mat. You want to be able to feel the thighs, the tops of the feet, the bony hips in the front of the body, the chest, and the palms or fingers on the mat, along with the cheek that is on the mat. Lift the head to turn it, lengthen the neck, and drop the opposite cheek to the mat. We're going to move into a few back bends. We will start with a modified locust, an adjusted locust. So the forehead comes to the mat. We're going to start just with the top part of the body. So the hands, the palms stay connected to the earth, grounded to the earth, as do the tops of the feet. Maybe crawl your fingers more toward your feet to lower your shoulders. Inhale, head, nose, chin, collarbones lift. Maybe your shoulder blades draw together. And imagine you're lifting your navel off the mat. Your knees might come away from the mat as well. Breathe. And when this feels complete, you're going to come all the way back down to the mat. We'll take a couple rounds of breath. And then this time we will add the legs in after the top of the body comes into the back bend. Breath in, forehead, nose, chin, collarbones, shoulders, chest, and then maybe the feet, the shins, the knees, and the thighs lift. And we breathe. Try not to crank your neck. Come all the way down to the mat. This time, hands come either just outside your chest or your rib cage, or if you prefer Sphinx, you can place your elbows under your shoulders. We're going to draw into either a Sphinx or a Cobra, as deep or shallow as you would like. And if you like, you can spread the feet pretty wide and then go ahead, bend the knees, bring the toes toward each other. My quads are so tight that I can't get my toes to touch, but this is a prep to prep for Scorpion, which you may never do. For me, I like it because I can take some of the energy out of the low back and stretch my quads. 3, 2, 1, down to the mat and into a child's pose. You're now grounded more fully with parts of the body, components of the body that are on the front of the body. Not a place we typically are, but imagine if you really enjoy walking around fresh grass or cool grass or warm grass in your bare feet. If you like a forest walk, if you enjoy standing with a stance where the feet tend to be wider, if you enjoy the winter kinds of spices, perhaps you are simply reflecting your groundedness, or maybe representing a need to become more grounded in order to rise up, to lift your spirits, to lift your heart, to lift your mind to higher things. We're going to find our way to a tabletop, move the knees forward, and very gently come down to your back in whatever way makes sense for you. I'm going to go sideways for this. We're going to move into a very gentle twist of your choice. I will guide you to a specific twist with your left leg long. Hug the right knee in. Draw the leg across the body, you'll come onto the left side, arms out in a T. And if your knee is off the ground, that's perfectly fine. Grab your pillow or a blanket and maybe put it under your knee so you can rest your knee. Get more out of the twist. What's more important is that the shoulder blades are grounded into the floor. So if they're not, maybe you're twisting too far. And very gently, you'll find your way unraveling from this posture, preparing yourself if you need to take it on the other side. And for some of us, we may find that this side is a bit tighter or a bit more open. I've placed the block actually between my thighs so that I can rest that top leg in this twist and allow for the shoulder blades to connect to the earth. And turn yourself to a little bit of curiosity, a little bit of curiousness, is that a word? To consider or bring to mind a posture, a shape, a movement that will feel like you're completing your active practice. For me, that's going to be a happy baby with a little rock left and right. Could be legs up the wall or Supta Baddha Konasana. Supta Baddha Konasana is similar to the happy baby, opening the hips. And we want to give ourselves a little bit more time than we have in the past for Shavasana. So once this feels complete, find your way into a place, a shape, where you can rest for at least a couple of minutes. In the traditional Shavasana, the legs are long, there's space between the feet. The arms, though, by the sides are not touching the side bodies. And you might scoot your shoulder blades toward the hips on each side. No need to effort. Perhaps after taking a cleansing breath, you simply be. Bring your awareness back to the body on the mat, feeling all of the connections, all of the parts of your human form that are enabling you to be grounded, to feel connected to the earth, receiving its nutrients, its energy. And in this case, given our orientation, perhaps a lightness comes to the front body, including the face. Almost as if you got a little stretchy between the ground and the sky. Find your way out of this posture. Maybe there's an interstitial of being on your side or in child's pose before you make your way to a seat. I'm running a little bit late, so in our seat, we'll take a big breath in and out. Relaxing the shoulders, gathering the belly, and the hands come to the heart. If you would like to join in a chant of Om, a vibration that can connect to all beings so we can share the merit of this practice with them, feel free. And if you would just like to listen, that's fine too. A breath in. Namaste. With the feeling of treasure in my heart, I send you thanks, not just for practicing with me, but really for practicing yoga. I hope you have a great remainder of your day or evening or week, depending on whether you are live or watching it on demand. Have a great one. My name is Karen. Again, Salt and Sand Studios in Vermont. Hoping to see you soon. Thank you. Bye.